So I've had a lot of people ask for maybe a little bit more in-depth look at the store, so let's do it. Alright, so one of the first things you see when you walk in is this case, and this case has in it mostly vintage Star Wars figures and some of the ships. And then at the very bottom we have some of the newer and older 13-inch figures. So on top we have a video disc player and a couple of Star Wars figures. To the left, this is our wall of handheld games. So this has loose handheld games. Everything from Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, and PSP games, and a few Vita games. Up here too we have a Retron HD setup, and I've got my own cart in there. It's a 150 in 1 cart, and that's very popular. We sell quite a few of those. But right underneath it, this is some of the handhelds that we have in stock, and some of the boxed games. So one of my favorite things, you got a Nomad in there. That boxed PSP that I picked up last week. Lots of Game Boy Colors. We go through a lot of Game Boy Colors. And in the case next to it, we have that is a Vectrex on the left there, with 9 games and about, I think, 6 or 7 overlays. And then of course our Virtual Boy stuff right there in the center. Some Ninja Turtle stuff on the top shelf. We have Ninja Turtle stuff in this case, and also some of our Magic stuff, Magic the Gathering. Some dice and some loose stuff like that. So on the other side of that, these are basically cases for toys and stuff. This one has more Star Wars stuff in it. This one has everything from those Puppet Master figurines, Dark Knight figurines, Doctor Who figurines, some Walking Dead stuff in there. So let's go this way. This is just one of the display cases. We have a lot of Star Wars stuff in there. Some of the big figures, some of the Gentle Giant figures and stuff. Walking around the corner. This case, you can see at the top couple shelves there are all PS1 games, and going down to PSP and then boxed DS games, and then at the very bottom there is some 32X games, some Atari Jaguar games, there's some boxed Genesis games, Master System games, and some TurboGrafx 16 games. And of course we have stuff on top of everything. So up top we got the Overwatch, I don't know what edition, that collector's edition or whatever it is, Battlefield 1, that was in one of the videos. These are almost all, we got some Nintendo Powers in there and some of the player's guides. Some people collect those, so we have that. Going on to the back, it's the Wii wall. And then right next to that we got the Xbox One. And then going on to the 360s. The OG Xbox. We'll just circle around the wall real quick. PS4, PS3, and then finally the last 3 racks on this side are PS2. we sell a lot of PS2. A lot of PS2. So there's a wide angle of it. On top of the racks, we have some of these are LPs, but some of them are laser discs. We don't do a whole lot of LPs. I don't buy them unless they are vintage rock and roll or something. But of course, there's a Michael Jackson Thriller up there. That's always cool. All right, so we're back here by the Wii. Now on the shelves, this is a lot of just miscellaneous stuff. So this back wall right here is a lot of game cases and a couple of the vintage arcade games. And the Guitar Hero. We get a lot of people asking for Guitar Hero guitars, especially for PS3. Going around the corner. These are Christmas ornaments. These are almost all Star Wars Christmas ornaments. They're the Hallmark ones. These are really hard to find. So we sell quite a few of these. I was lucky enough to run into a guy who bought a storage locker that was full of them. And I picked them all up. So those are all Christmas ornaments. On the other side, we have a lot of Star Wars stuff. Figures, Micro Machine stuff. Kind of got an R2-D2 shelf on the bottom down there. That's a Yoda tree topper down there. Going around the corner from there. This is kind of a Batman shelf on the top there. So the one on the left, the Batmobile right there, is a boxed 1988 or 89 Batmobile, and the Batwing is right next to it. Those are really awesome. And then all these Spawn characters that I just picked up. And opposite side, the two shelves, these are almost all Star Wars figures, boxed figures from the 90s and 2000s. And the sad part of it is we have so many more. Round corner from that. So this is kind of a Doctor Who shelf right here, the top one, and kind of want to show you guys this. So these are the books from the 70s, and from what I understand, the BBC erased their archives, and this is the only way that you can see the first, I think it's 3 Doctors, or read about them, because the videos are gone. Right below that, we have some of the vintage D&D books. So this is the complete first edition D&D books, and then right next to that we have the second edition and a couple other ones. Down this one, a couple of Lego sets. I think I did a pickup video about those. Monopoly at the bottom. And then pops. This is kind of our little pop wall right here. Now, I don't buy any pops new. I have vendors, but I just get them in on trades and I pick them up when I see them. So all the pops. Around the corner from that, this is kind of the Star Trek spot. So most of the stuff is Star Trek stuff. And then down from that, we got a wrestling ring at the bottom and a GoBots. If anybody remembers GoBots, there's a big old GoBot ship down there. On the other side, we got more figures. Figures for days. Now, people might be laughing about the Spice Girls, but I had like 2 racks full of those, and I've sold them. I'm really surprised that Saw, the Billy, is still here. He's been here for a minute. Alright. Last couple racks here. Those are all Genesis games. And these are all NES games. Super Nintendo and 64 games. This is the GameCube. So GameCube wall right there. And the Wii U. So we got costumes and our t-shirts. So on this we have a lot of loose stuff. So we got Atari 2600, 7800, and 5200 at the bottom. And then some loose Dreamcast games. There's a couple 3DO games in there. So cables and controllers and stuff. This other side we have some of the Super 7 figures and just some other miscellaneous figures. So more of the controllers. And more loose figures. We got Ninja Turtles on top and then lots of wrestlers. More figures, superhero figures, Batman figures, Lord of the Ring figures at the bottom there. So on this side we've got some G.I. Joe at the top, and then Ninja Turtles, some Motu characters in the middle there. And the last big shelf here, these are almost all Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, except for the Spice Girls at the bottom there. Now we got a couple of these little bargain bins. So a lot of kids come in and just pick through this stuff. I'll just pick stuff up to throw in here because usually kids come in and they gotta buy something. So a couple little bargain bins. Bargain bin for games. So back here, so this little box right here is full of loose games. People can flip through them and find stuff, and obviously Wii stuff. But these are all full of cards. Some of them are full of Pokemon cards. Some of them are full of Magic cards. And there's some Yu-Gi-Oh cards in here. And people come in and they take these and they go sit down and they can pick out their cards. We sell them for 10 for $1, so pretty cheap. I'm sure everybody has seen this case. This case we try to change up about once a month. Right now it has the Motu and it has some Star Wars stuff in it. Our Games Workshop. So we are an official Games Workshop store, and it was supposed to already be here, but we're getting this whole size rack full of every paint that they have, which is really cool. We just shut the doors so the arcade games aren't on right now, but so that's the Pac-Man machine I've worked on in one of the videos. I'm waiting for it to actually pay for its own screen. So every week I roll the quarters, and when I got enough quarters to buy a new screen, we'll change the screen out on that one. That is just another multicade. It's almost got the exact same operating system as the Miss Pac-Man. The next one actually works on a Raspberry Pi, and so that is another homemade one. A Ranger Mission in the corner, and Cruising World, and a claw machine. Back here is where I actually do the editing for my videos. Right here in the back of the store. This is a Warhammer case. It has figures that already have been done. Most of them were done by a friend of the store, Dr. Lee, and he does incredible work with that stuff. Now we don't do a whole lot with comics, but we do take some stuff in. So this is kind of our little comic spot. Everywhere you look in here, we got neat stuff on the walls, up top. We did just become a Magic Core store, so we can start giving points. And of course, it's hard to miss this giant falcon flying from the ceiling here. A friend of mine gave this to me, but I believe it came from Walmart. This was a Walmart prop, something they had up in the store. Alright, on to the front here. So this first case has everything from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, boxed NES, Super NES games, kind of the higher dollar stuff, the stuff that we don't want people just walking away with. So this other case is almost all NES and Super NES. And right behind me, So these are all just miscellaneous figures, stuff that we get in. Everything from Godzilla to there's a Wonder Woman in there. Some snacks. So right behind me is the POS for the store, and kind of a wall of stuff. So this is where all the consoles are that we sell. So everything gets refurbished and cleaned up and put on the wall for sale. And whenever you bring something in, we test it when you bring it in, if you want to trade something in on the TV over there. And we also show you that it works when it leaves. A lot of people just come in to play Super Mario. Up top there we have, this is about a 125, 130 inch screen. It has a pretty good picture on it. It's actually coming from a projector right there. We also have a bunch of Star Wars vehicles flying from the ceiling. A lot of those were donated by Jay Butler. Thanks, Jay. Good friend of the store. More records up top and some video discs. And that was from the Last Jedi. The local movie theater asked us to come over and asked me to dress up like Vader and take pictures with people. So that's what we did that with. And I do believe that's just about it. So that was a walk around the store. I don't think I missed anything. Maybe I did. But I'm sure this store changes a lot. About every month. People walk in after 2 weeks and they go, it seems like everything's just changed. We like to change stuff around in the cases. We like to change stuff around on the shelves. Just so every time somebody comes in, it feels fresh. So if you're ever in the area, stop on by, come check us out, come say hi. If not, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're enjoying the content, leave a thumbs up on the video, hit that subscribe button, and we'll do some more. So with Retro Reboot, I'm Dan. See ya.